And I'm back. Welcome to work, guys. And the reason why I'm wearing a hat, see, my hair is a mess. Of course, this is for Sean. And at work, I have this. At work, I have this desk. You see, it's a standing desk, just in case. I think I heard a saying by somebody in my industry saying that sitting is the new smoking. So it's good for the flow and stuff. But yeah, I'm back, and the city is just as bad as they made it seem. So um, we had a day where heat was out, boiler went out, all of which couldn't have been addressed for as long as I've been away. So, anyways, let's get to it. I wanted to, well, obviously, throughout my travels and turmoil, guys, do let me know about my audio quality. I do have a mic here. I want to make sure it's picking me up properly. Um, Sean, I wouldn't bounce for that. I just wouldn't. Shouldn't that be a MAS hat? Yeah, I wouldn't spend the money on that. It was too expensive. I did get the mug though. I have a Smerconish mug here. Thank you, Suan, coming through just fine. All right. Earlier this week, I was thinking about how stupid it would have been because because the Democrats were threatening to shut down the entire government based over defunding defunding the entire DHS, not narrowing that funding towards ICE operations or particular ICE methodology or things that they use. But there sort of seems to be a sort of on again, off again deal. By deal, I mean by keeping the government open and avoiding shutdown. The reason why I say on again, off again is because it's literally on again, off again. That's just how the Senate is operating right now. The second thing is with the House being out of session, they passed a couple of bills and got sent home for recess until at least Monday. Any modifications to the bill that the Senate passes won't keep the government open at least over the weekend. Sean, I'm very aware my hat is on backwards. You know what? You know what? There you go. Okay. Okay. And if in case it makes you feel better, the Yankees flag that I have up at or have set to go up at home used to hang up right there. No, I can't do this. I'm gonna do it backwards. Um, so at least there's somewhat of a sentiment of we better get this shutdown to look like we're doing our job on both sides, Republicans and Democrats. And you guys tell me if you think I'm wrong in thinking that even the Republicans know that this is really, really bad for them. The killing of Preddy. Sure, I saw that 11 days prior to his killing, he broke in the brake lights of an ice truck or an ice vehicle, spat on them, and did a whole bunch of other things to them. But still, he's not worthy of being killed. What is interesting is Reuters is reporting they see what might be a gun 11 days prior to his killing when ICE killed him, which, in my opinion, could have even been a reinforcing thought that bringing a firearm to an ICE encounter that may escalate is okay. I told you guys what I thought about bringing concealed carry to the to the to a protest. And like I said, I always went back to the live stream comments, and I saw Hamilton, you said that it wasn't a protest, and I I have to agree with you. I guess it wasn't really a protest. It was just an encounter. I mean, it wasn't something that was organized Um, but how are we defining protest? Is protest one man standing on the corner of a institution saying, "I'm against everything this person stands for"? Surely that has to be considered a protest in the eyes of the law. But, picket signs is not re I don't know how you would legally define the protest. But, I agree with you, Hamilton, in that this doesn't what happened with Preddy doesn't really rise to the level of a protest. Um, Engaging with the comments just a bit here. Um, Sean, funny you bring this up. I don't so Ashkenazi Jews from Europe, traditionally wear a yarmulke 24/7. Sephardic Jews, which are from Spain and then the Middle East, only wear a yarmulke when they are performing a religious function. I don't I only perform one when I only wear one when I'm performing a religious function. So it's funny. It's funny. Um there was a good soundbite, Sean. I like the soundbite from a caller the other day. Just because you have a right to do something doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. And well, the right thing to do is I would change that for the smart thing to do. Right and wrong is, different implications. And Hamilton, yeah, you see, I'm sure we're sharing the same sentiment here. But let's say Minnesota had a sensitive places law against concealed carrying at a protest. Would he be in violation? It's a tough case with Preddy. It's a tough case. Um, Okay, there was another headline I wanted to hit by you guys. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Again, this is me, working guy, not doing this full time, not fully up to date on every single last crumb of news, but pretty up to date. Why hasn't anyone been talking about the buildup of military presence in Iran? The internet is coming back on in the country. The Ayatollah seems to have grasped onto power, the 86-year-old, as he may be. But, I mean, isn't it just lingering in my political mind that just like, oh my god, this guy is gonna launch something the second he wants to change the news cycle. It's been reported this morning that he's in talks with the regime, the Revolutionary Guard, and the broader powers in Iran. But this guy, I don't know. I don't know what is he thinking? Is he trying to send the military presence there to enable rhetoric and spirits of the protesters to say, go on and protest and try to bring down this regime? I don't know. Um, it's a power play for sure. And this is me with my support of Israel being what it is I'm thinking, is Israel ready? Because Israel will be America's punching bag. I think we all know that. Um, Tammy, that's simply what I think it is. The second he needs to change the narrative, be it Epstein, be it Preddy, be it the shutdown, be it turmoil at the Fed, he'll launch something. He'll launch something, even if it's something like low target, something like I don't know, some warehouse or military installation that's no longer active. I think it's a trigger he's ready to pull. Um, there's something I'm thinking about there. Um, Very interestingly, I would also say things that are happening over on the federal level. Two things: the appointment of a new Fed chair. Jerome Powell is set to leave in May. I This former Fed governor has been angling for the job since 2016, I believe, and He's married to his wife, I believe, is an heiress to the Estee Lauder fund or inheritance or something like that. And this administration, Trump 2.0, in my simple American civilian mind, is plagued with corruption and inside baseball. Um, this doesn't help. This doesn't help. And you can only hope the best for our country. Let's put it that way. Second thing, now that tax refunds will probably be going out 2-3 weeks, I can't wait to see how it impacts the economy because number one, a ton of money is going to be leaving the government, going towards really the American population. Tends to be the lower class that gets the refunds. And these refunds are set to be bigger than ever. Uh, I'm taking this from the newsletter. About $3,800 under the new retroactive rules by the IRS is expected to hit taxpayers. What will the impact be on the Treasury? And what will the impact be on the economy? Bureau of Labor Statistics, stuff like that. As a business owner, I like it. There's more money to be spent, more money to be had, more money to be made. Now, combine that with what's happening with the Supreme Court and the tariffs case. I don't know. I don't know what that means for our coffers. But between that, potential strike on Iran, how it can expand, who we need to aid, who we need to send money to, the fact that the government's shutting down, we have a lot going on. Not enough to worry about, though. Let's engage with some comments, and then we'll get to work. Again, I apologize for the tardiness, but that's just what I'm thinking about. And I don't know if it's happening for you guys. I tried listening to Michael's program yesterday on Sirius, but the app is just not having his episode. I tried to go back to listen to the replay, and I couldn't do that. So I even logged out, back in. I did all the things that tech people tell us to do. Let's see. Sean, I'm loving this back and forth when it comes to baseball rivalry. Hold on a sec. I'll go get my Phillies hat for equal time. Gotta love it. Wasn't that 2009 World Series great? I was just a kid. It was the only World Series I was conscious for when the Yankees won. But that was great. Yeah, Tammy, I hit that same comment. Sean, I asked a friend for a recommendation for a Chinese restaurant in the city. When he gave me one, I asked if it was where he had his family at Christmas dinner. His reply was no. They're not that orthodox. That's funny. Let's see what else is on. Financially speaking, it's better to owe taxes rather than receive a refund. Why should I give the government an interest-free loan? I'm totally with you. And, I guess it's more of a class thing. You could modify the withholdings that the federal government take out of your paycheck. But then again, that requires a certain amount of education and familiarity with money, literacy, the fact that how loans work and interest works. It's not really privy to the people who are getting refunds. It's more of a structural thing in our society. That's just something I see firsthand. Nancy, the pretty issue is definitely more sensational. I found it so sensational that even the Republicans in the GOP, Mike Johnson put out a statement live yesterday saying that he's in favor of more body cams. And he highlighted that he funded more body cams being used by DHS last go around. So yeah, the sensationalism and the disapproval, it's definitely being felt on both sides. Let's see what else we got going on. Am I okay with the shutdown of schools, work, and buying today? I think it's stupid. Nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna happen. People. So to bring some people up to speed, and I'm sure I don't really need to. Um, People are trying to protest spending money today as a form of disapproval of the Trump DHS and ICE. I don't think it's really gonna work. Just do what you got to do. Engage civilly with your elected officials, and that's it. I want to say one more thing. Came to mind just now when I said that. I am so happy Amy Klobuchar is running for governor of Minnesota. I've been thinking since Walls dropped out, is governor a step up or step down from senator? Sometimes it's viewed as a step up, sometimes viewed as a step down. I really liked Klobuchar as a Democratic candidate when she was running against Biden, I think it was in 2016. She's pretty center. She's pretty center. I I like it. I like the idea, and to be honest, I don't know if Tim Walz was so radical left, but I do know that I got to know Klobuchar through the tween cycle, and I liked what I saw being just someone in the middle and someone who hates the extreme, especially the extreme left, who's in my opinion a lot more prominent than the extreme right these days. So yeah, that's something I have to think about. Um Suan, I guess talking about tax withholdings and refunds. Might it not give a little teaser that we have power as consumers? Um, Not if it's so discombobulated like this. I mean, you think enough people are gonna not spend today? How many people are gonna turn off their heat and not pay the gas bill? I mean, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I mean, like, okay, take this example. I think it was under the De Blasio administration. I think it was when defund the police was popular. New Year's Eve in New York City, not one parking citation was given. Not one. And I think the mayor's office heard that loud and clear. If I had to tell you how often parking citations are given in New York City, there's no metric for that. It's too frequent. That's sending a message. Schools and not spending money. I'm sorry. That's just not, it's not a threshold we're going to meet. Hamilton, you saying I should lose the mister? Do you mean in my handle? Should I just go on as Chicalo? Is that right? And lots of governors and senators exchange places over time. Nowhere else to go when term limited. Uh, okay, but senators not term limited. So anyway, I mean, a lot of politicians are power hungry people who just want authority and dominance. So um, that's why I view it as what's better to hold, governor or senator. But by the looks of it, she'll be able to waltz right into the office. I think she doesn't really have such a formidable challenge. Feel free to disagree with me, especially on that. Um, in light of the current mess, I think it's a step up for Klobuchar. To be honest, I think she could do a lot more. She could do a lot more there. I think the seat will stay Democratic. Makes me wonder who's going to be angling for that seat. And yeah. Suan, suppose there was restraint on the part of the agents, but I'm still feeling like unless we, I guess we were there, we don't know all the details. Um, that's never the case, right? I mean, when it comes to any large trial, be it Derek Chauvin, be it my God, ready for this one? Casey Anthony, be it OJ. You never know what the situation was, but you just try to pursue the facts, preferably in a court of law. Um, and you just try to do the best you can to redraw it. But there's nothing like actually being there. And you can't always prove whatever is in somebody's heart or mind. So that's also another thing. Nancy, what a thing to ask at 8:26. Do I think sanctuary cities and states should be legal? I think cities and okay. Personally, I think it's so extraneous to have state and federal governments. Like this whole dual government system that we have going on in America, I think is so extraneous, bureaucratic, and extra. So I think yeah, I'm a lot more in favor of what the rest of the world has, where it's just one government. Um sure, they have local officials, but just one government functioning as one unitary body. Um I don't think that the United States should dismantle their whole dual government system, but I think it should function more that way. The Supremacy Clause tries to make it that way, but I don't get how cities and states can obstruct or get in the way of federal operations. That's weird to me, and um, the Supremacy Clause should reign, in my opinion. With Sean sticking his tongue out at me, the Phillies fan he is, we will adjourn for the weekend. Apologies again for the lateness, and I will we'll be in touch about Sunday, whether it'll be a live stream or pre-recorded. So um give me some ideas. What would you like my opinion on? I'm thinking of doing maybe Minnesota, maybe Klobuchar. I like that. Um, okay, guys, talk to you then. Off to work.